Hey, how's it going, guys? It's me, Blue. I'm racing Aerlien here on Mega Man 64. How you doing, bud? How you feeling about
Yeah,
this race?
buddy, I'm real ambivalent about this one because it's a fun game, but this version, we're not even gonna be modest about it. This version of the game is just not fun.
We made it. We made sure in our GDQ descriptions that this is a jank, not very good port of an already cool but jank game. So this is it's gonna be a real hoot. So we're gonna self-commentate this race. It's gonna be also as jank as this version is gonna be. So hopefully it'll be fun, and we'll see what happens. So you ready to go, bud?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna start the run in three, two, one, go. All right, so Mega Man Legends, or I guess in this case Mega Man 64. This game is all about running diagonally. It's one of those games. You go faster by moving diagonally.
On the
And then
PS1 version, we would have done a diagonal jump as the first jump because we have to do all sorts of jumps to get extra distance while these mandatory tutorial text boxes come up. So it is faster to jump diagonally, but this game's frame rate is so sporadic that it's just not reliable to do that first jump.
yeah, it's PlayStation moves at like locked 30 unless you're on some different PS2 hardware or something. But this version struggles to hit 30 at any point. So there's going to be some jank movement things we have to do just to compensate. So it's kind of tough sometimes, man. So right here, we're going to be grabbing this chest as a buster part, and we'll put it on for right now. And that just increased our attack power, because we're going to be fighting this boss immediately, and we're doing a trick that's called stutter shooting, where you basically spam forward and a camera button to shoot faster.
Yeah, that was decent.
Oh, mine got an extra smash.
That's no good. Yeah, so that fight is, for all intents and purposes, it has no RNG. However, there's also a little thing that can happen 1 in 30 chance of your buster shooting an extra shot than it's meant to. So usually it's a 3 burst and then you reload. Sometimes it can be 4, which actually throws the fight out of whack a little bit. It can happen at many points during the run and you just kind of have to adapt. You'd think it would be good to get an extra shot because it sounds like more DPS, but it's really not.
Yeah, we have our shots mapped out for almost every single fight in the game. There's only a handful of like fights where you want that extra shot glitch to happen, but most of the time you don't. It just throws off everything. You're just like, well, okay, I have to plan something else out here. This is kind of obnoxious.
Right now in the story, our plane just crash landed on this island. We're like treasure hunters, so we're trying to dig for these ancient power crystals, and now we're just doing a mandatory little quest to save the junk shop lady's husband, and we got to go into the snake pit and fight off the dastardly snakes. And you get a glimpse at just how amazing the auto aim is.
Yeah, this game is known for its auto aim, but on this particular version, it's very particularly aggressive. Like, sometimes shots will just curve almost 90 degrees sideways. Where the heck are you? Oh, no, no, no. Ugh. Snake was hiding in the corner.
Octo camo.
Coincidentally in a Metal Gear stream, man. Can't believe this. Yeah, you gotta beat all the snakes before the guy even wants to leave, so... Their color just blends in so well with the environment that it's just hard to find them sometimes.
And now we're getting our reward for the quest, which is the mine part kit. So we'll be able to use our first special weapon and one of our only special weapons in the run. Usually in Mega Man, it's like you fight a boss and you take their power for your own. But in this one, you just kind of build weapons that you can use throughout the game. And this one lays down mines in front of us. It does a lot of damage, but the range is really short.
Yeah, so it's only useful for a handful of things, but those things that it can hit, they go down pretty quick. All right, so I'm gonna do the kids first. I believe you do shopping first.
Yeah, I'm shopping first.
So that group of kids right there, you have to. It's like mandatory stealth mechanics that you're never gonna use for the rest of the run. You have to walk up to them and they're like, "Hey, we're talking about some stuff. Oh, hey, there's a guy there." But if you run up to them, they're just gonna be like, "Hey, get away from us." You have to walk instead, and that's the only time walking is forced upon you. And Aerlien went into the shop first because the routing it doesn't really make a difference. It's more like a preference for how you prefer approaching the kids coming from the shop or whether you shop or not. I do the kids first and then I shop later, but he does the shop first and it gives you a different setup for doing the skip on the kids there. So we look even right now, but by the time I get done with my shopping, I think he'll be ahead of me.
I also got the special little ledge clip, one extra airborne frame. Well, I think it's more than one, but it's just a really minor time save. By the way, we're kicking dogs around here.
This series is also known for its animal abuse. It does indeed save time to kick that dog instead of trying to peacefully talk him down and be like, hey, that's not how you treat women. It's like, no, in this version, we kick them.
That is not available in the US version, and one of the reasons it's considerably faster on Japanese.
Yeah, it saves you like 20 seconds, give or take. It's pretty silly.
Coming up on Bloom Bears, this fight's pretty simple. You just have to make their health bar appear by doing enough damage to one of them. Run over to the blue one since we need a key and they guaranteed throw it to that guy every time. I'm just gonna play this safe. You're typically supposed to dodge roll into that. This is happening quite fast. Now we're going for a stun lock. I think I got it. Yeah, you just kind of go behind the foreleg and drop mines on it non-stop. It's somewhat lenient. You can do it in a multitude of different ways, but yeah, that was a lot of chaos right there. Essentially, got a key item, got money, and did a stun lock. And now entering
a whole lot of stuff happening all at once.
One of the biggest RNG pits in the run. I'm actually gonna focus.
Yeah, we gotta pretty much take down a few of these flying guys because they drop off all these ground guys. So as soon as you kill one of these ground guys, one of those flying guys is gonna take off somewhere where you can't reach. They're really far away, really fast, and then they'll bring back another ground guy. So you have to take these guys out first.
Where's the pink? Where's the pink? There you are. Thank you very much for that, Amazon Prime. Where the hell is he?
Oh no. Yeah, mine are a little scuffed too, because like,
dude,
shot pulled away and where'd he go?
The only shot that hit him was the shot that was, I was aiming nowhere near him. This game is broken.
Alright, mine were kind of scuffed, but they're done. I got two of them on City Hall.
Yeah, the flying guys are mandatory to kill first. You have to take them out or else they'll just keep respawning these ground tanks.
Where is he? Okay, he's over here. Wait, he's on the bank. He's on the bank.
Don't kill the bank, bro.
Alright, bank is safe. Bank is safe. Your bank safe?
It's beautiful. It was untouched.
Nice. Okay, so we had a gentleman's agreement where if someone loses the bank, you'd have to wait out the time that would take to fix it, because otherwise as soon as someone loses the bank, that's like the other one just wins. So
yeah. And that was a boss. So he has two patterns you can do at the start. You can either do clap or missiles. I got clap there. Which ones you get?
I got missiles.
Yeah, so we got to see each pattern. Missiles is slightly slower. It used to be run ending how slow missiles was, but Japanese runner has popularized a strat where you bait Bonbon into doing a clap, even if he does missiles, by shooting him, and then draw him to a pole.
On the lamp pole, and then you can just mine him. You can mine an aerial boss by luring downwards, so that's pretty nice. Sometimes he'll break out for seemingly no reason. I'm glad that didn't happen because that would have been awful.
We're finishing up our boss gauntlet.
Boss. Yeah, another one, and this guy is RNG. He's got coin flips. The first coin flip can take or save 2 seconds, and then when you get on his back, where the hatch is, where you want to throw mines at, his weak spot, if you get the bad coin flip, you lose like 8 additional seconds, so if you lose both coin flips, you're going to lose like up to 10. Yeah, I lost the first coin flip. I lost 2 seconds. I'm ready for worst pattern. Let me have it, Marvel. Give it to me.
I got best pattern again.
I'm not happy right now.
Oh no! Did you get bird second?
Yes, as you said it.
Dude, I've only gotten bomb second. You've only gotten bird second since we started practicing. Why was that a goal? That was trash.
Man, I only got bomb second in practice a few times before this race even started. And of course, when it matters, I go first.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Blue's luck has been considerably worse than mine through this run so far, but now we're done with RNG for a little bit, mostly. After that boss gauntlet, you just kind of go through like a calm of having to fight no bosses.
Yeah, there's no bosses for quite a while, not until the end of the boat section, which we'll talk about when we get there. But until then, we're going to another dungeon, and it's got no boss in it, but it's got some tricks and stuff. There's an out of bounds on the way there. It's gonna be interesting. You'll see when they come up.
Yeah, the reason we had to fight all those bosses is because it was a pirate invasion. Those guys are pirates, like all of them, including the serve bots. And I'm unequipping my special weapon for the out of bounds clip coming up. But yeah, essentially, like, they're terrorizing the town, they want money, and they want to dig up the treasure that's around here. So we fended them off, and now, okay, I got the lineup. Slide over. All right, I got the quick kick clip. Quick click. Yeah, that.
All right, my turn on this setup. Let's see how I do here.
Okay,
Oh, I got it too. Nice.
Excellent.
So there's one little tile in the wall there that is misaligned and lets you clip through it if you're moving at the right speed. And kicking an enemy and getting pushed backwards is faster than running, so that gives us enough speed. Ow! It gives us enough speed to go through.
Talk.
And so we land and go into the dungeon from here. And it skips having to do this little auto-scroller thing where you're following your support car and blowing up tanks and stuff, so it saves like close to a minute.
Okay, third try. Setting up another trick involving the kick. It's called kick storage. So that momentum we were just talking about, I got a big jump, but I didn't make the gap. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll be storing our momentum that we would get, our backwards momentum from kicking, to make it so that on the first frame of our next kick, we'll shoot backwards at that really fast speed, and that'll allow us to skip a boss.
Yeah, it's something that happens later. You set up a glitch now, and it carries over all the way until then. You pretty much just use enough speed to skip over the boss trigger and the fight never starts, but that's in the next dungeon from now. But in this one, currently, we're just trying to find 3 starter keys so we can unlock the barrier that's holding the big ol' yellow crystal. In this game, they're called refractors. And we have to use that to power the boat for the next section coming up. But till then, we're in this room. This is kind of an auto-scroller room. You activate the conveyor belt, and it's just delivering this green chest here over to this grinder compactor thing, because there's a key in there. One of the 3 keys that we're after. And then while you're waiting, you just blow up the enemies and try to get some extra money.
There is a really precise luck-dependent trick that you can do that essentially stops you from having to do that little trip to the door I just made, and you die and come back to life and then warp there. It's pretty insane, but yeah, most runs are not going to be able to get it because it involves too much luck. It's quite difficult too. This is a puzzle.
It's also the least marathon safe thing of all time.
Yeah, never gonna do it in a marathon. key number 2. Yeah, so there's also a trick that you can really cultivate the most time save with in this dungeon in particular. It's called the big jump. Let's see. Got one more shot. Didn't make it. You have 1 frame where you let go of the jump button in midair, and you'll stay in midair for 1 extra frame. It's pretty ridiculous. You
I
can
think I got a big jump, but I didn't make it.
see. I thought I made it too, or I thought I got it, but I didn't make it on either of the big jumps.
Alright, barrier unlocked. Got the refractor. Now we can head out of here. And then we can go take it to fix the boat. But before we get to the boat, we're going to do a little shopping trip. And the only shopping trip, well, the one of 2 shopping trips we do. We're going to buy some buster parts, going to buy the hyper cartridge to refill our weapon ammo, among other things. And right here we're developing stuff, being the jump springs specifically, so that when we equip them, we can jump higher.
Yeah, you need to develop that to even progress through the next dungeon. I have way more than enough money. Yeah.
I didn't check mine at all, but I assume I have enough. The second nest kind of trolled me, and I had to run around and grab some money that way.
Right. Yeah, we're buying not only that hyper cartridge that Blue mentioned, we're getting a bunch of buster parts.
I didn't have enough money. How the heck did that happen?
You were short? You got both nests, but you did get trolled. Wow, dude, that's...
Okay.
This luck is amazing.
Jesus, sorry.
Well...
Oh my god. I'm still short.
After selling the vacuum part,
Yes.
go into downtown, get the one from the trash can.
That's
or kick the
exactly
can.
what I'm doing, dude. I don't want to get rid of my kick storage, man.
Oh, yeah.
I just did, trying to talk to the trash can. This is horrible.
I'm talking to a boat instead of a human. Oh, yeah, this game is ridiculous. This game is ridiculous.
I think I somehow didn't get the money from the first nest. How did that happen?
That has happened to me since I came back. Like, it's so deceptive whether you're gonna get hit by the nest or whether you went too soon. It's a rough life out here.
Man.
That sucks.
Well, you know what? Get the shenanigans out of the way in this marathon first, so it doesn't happen at GDQ, right?
That's optimistic.
It is. The menu was good, but like, how did that happen? I can't believe this. I have to get kick storage somewhere.
The best frame rate is right outside the next dungeon, but it's hard to see the spark.
Man, it's gonna be brutal.
Well, having to fend off more pirates from our boat. It's just a auto scroller. You can't do anything to speed this up.
Yeah, this is like complete auto scroller. So if we were doing like actual GDQ right now, it's like, hey, this is a good time to rate donations. Fantastic time. Goes on for about like 5 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, we read chat. What's up, Evie?
Oh, it's Alexander BC. What's up, dude?
The squad is here. So, yeah, Blue's gonna have to get kick storage again. We also are not gonna use all our mines in this section. Like, we could just like drop them on dudes for fun. We can just drop a couple, but we need the mines for a setup on the next boss to make it a little more consistent. Actually make it like, if it weren't 64, it would be absolutely consistent.
Yeah, frame rate on this version is lovely.
The shot pulling is way too aggressive, so a lot of the time it doesn't even matter where you aim. It's just going to track directly at the enemy.
This Buster has a mind of its own, much more so than the other versions of the game. Like the boss coming up that we're gonna be fighting, we have to very heavily fight the auto aim, even much more than before. And it's an auto scroller boss where you have to blow up all 4 parts and then the weak spot actually finally spawns, but it'll only spawn when you can't see it, so only when you loop around the front of the boss. So if you don't blow up all 4 pieces before you loop around the front again, then it won't spawn. You have to wait another entire revolution, and that wastes like 20 seconds. And if you don't blow up the core in enough time, that's like another 10. So this auto-scroller boss coming up is very punishing for cycles. You know how to place your shots and everything and stuff.
I'm trying to think of anything being glossed over leading up to this point in the run.
Let's see. So you talked about kick storage, right? How that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, kicking something and pausing on the specific frame that it hits stores your kick momentum. And yeah, you went over big jumping. Yeah, I don't know.
Just
long-time viewer,
too
first-time
good.
donator. Is from Germany? From Germany? No.
I used to play Mega Man 64 when I was this age today. Good luck on the run.
Hey, thanks. So I guess something funny, I'll point out just to talk about during this time is the English version of 64 kind of starts you out with a different control scheme by default unless you change it. And all the other versions of the game don't use that one by default. So if someone talks about what controls they use for this game, I can immediately tell what version they probably started with. So I play on the scheme where you use L1 and R1 to turn and D-pad to move around, and that tells you I started playing the PlayStation version. But if you use the scheme where you move left to right with L1 and R1 and you use left and right on the D-pad to turn, then you probably started on the English version of 64. Probably.
Guilty.
It's not always the case, but it's likely.
Yeah.
Tank controls before there was the analog stick.
That's another thing too. Like, we're not holding the 64 controller like your traditional game because we're not using this stick. We're not using the stick. We're using the D-pad.
It's just it feels better to use it for movement, but there are some runners who do use the stick to success, like our old boy Ochgard. He uses the stick for movement as far as I remember, and then he switches to D-pad for stutter shooting.
Right.
Because like when you're trying to stutter shoot, shoot your buster faster, you're not going to mash up on the stick and make it work. You're not. So he at least switches to D-pad for combat, but for movement, people can make the stick work. It's just tough.
We're going to be utilizing the same setup here, so we'll have our buster shots coming out on the same frame so we can purely predict how the fight is going to go. I did a 4 mine and 3 shot volley, and that's Blue's setup, so he's going to do that too. And the fight's going to look jank. It's going to be whack. Shots are not going to hit the guy, but it's intentional. I hate to say it, but like, it's really hard to have a setup where you can actually hit every shot.
My turn for the setup.
Hold there. 4 shots here. 3 and 1. Aim inward. Okay. I think I should have this. Oh, I'm missing a lot of shots.
This boss is really hard to hit because of the 64 version auto aim.
No way! Oh!
Did you get it?
That worked! Oh my goodness. Dude, I staggered. I staggered a shot in the volley and it lined it up. Like, I thought it was really good for a second and then it missed all 4 shots of the next volley. Oh, that was ridiculous.
I watched the stream feed to see what you did, and I'm surprised that worked too. That looked like it was like a frame or two too late.
Oh my god.
Alright, my turn for this dumb boss. See how out of control these shots possibly get. Mine's looking good. humans are being a little belligerent. They gave like 2 shots. No big deal. Okay, I got it.
Nice job. We're pretty much going into the same formula as the last dungeon here. Collect 3 keys, there's a refractor at the end, just this time there's a boss. Gonna be utilizing. Hopefully there's no boss. Now that we have the jump springs, if we can, we'll be chaining jumps together to save a little bit of time over diagonal running. It's not always necessary, but if you can do like 2 in a row at least, it's worth it. 1 is like even with running. So a lot of the times it comes down to whether or not you want the angle adjustment, because you have more angles to choose from when you're jumping. When running, it's more finite. You get less wiggle room. It can be good or bad, just depends on the situation.
And I'm trying to think of a spot in this place that has not terrible frame rate to get kick storage again. Maybe after I come out from the next door, I'll like face the other way, like I did in Cardin.
Alright.
If the frame rate looks good, I'll do it.
Frame rate's like really good in Dorito King's room.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, that's his name, by the way. Dorito King, that's who we're gonna try and skip. Not open the bag of Doritos and just leave it.
Yeah, his name is Garu Doriton, but we call him Dorito King because we're a bunch of memers. We'll put it that way.
Here's the setup. I'm gonna do turn first. Okay. That didn't take too long. I don't even know why I'm going for that stupid walk forward, walk backward. That's not what you should be doing. But
looks kind of sketch, not gonna lie.
it does look sketch because if you hold up or down for too long, it's just over. Instead, Blue's gonna be doing step first. He's gonna walk 2 steps and then find the angle in which he can do the kick storage kick.
Alright, let me get my stored kick first.
Yeah, the invisible enemies were always terrifying. This is the scariest dungeon in the game, casually.
Oh, did I turn? No, I didn't. I pressed R, not gonna lie, but I think I didn't press it for long enough to actually turn.
Oh boy.
I turned for the setup. Let's see if I don't screw this up too. Open the door. Okay.
Little phantom grab.
Alright, got it. So yeah, that boss skip, it's really interesting, really precise. You need to get into an exact position with a very small range of angles you can face. And then you use your stored kick to get pushed backwards over the boss trigger. Okay, those guys are jumping. Because like you want to use enough speed so that you're behind the boss trigger in 1 frame, and then the next frame you're past it. So if your speed can still be correct, but your position could be off to where you're like 2 frames behind the trigger, and then the frame that you wanted to use to skip over it, you're like on top of it, and the fight starts. So it's a really precise skip. And you got like 1 shot at it. Because if you waste your kick storage, well, you gotta fight the boss. And he's really not that hard. He's actually kind of a fun fight, which makes me miss fighting him.
Yeah, really.
I hate that this skip exists, but it's fast. He's a fun fight. I kind of miss it.
There are so many fights we would much rather skip than Dorito King.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, old friend. Now that I'm in the flutter, I went ahead and walked into Gramps' room to grab the grenade kit, or the weapon plant. I don't even remember what it's called, but I'm gonna be making a broken weapon. It's not gonna be too strong at the start, but it's convenient that we have to grab it anyway because there's a ceiling that we need to break, and only 3 weapons in the game can break the ceiling. This one right here is by far the easiest and quickest to grab in the run, or for the run.
Yeah, and later we'd be upgrading it with a buttload of money that we come across all at once. And when you just dump all that money into it, it becomes like a very, very strong weapon, like top tier. So pretty much one of the best weapons in the game. We just have to get, to even progress the game. So that's pretty nice.
Please do the menu correctly.
Speaking of menus, 64 version is kind of nice for the menus because the menus rely a little bit on your load speed, and the 64 version being on a cartridge means it loads fast. So the menu is actually pretty nice.
Haven't practiced that movement too much. So now
While we have dumped on the 64 version almost this whole time, there are some positives to it.
Yeah, we're not gonna lie to you and say there's nothing nice. Oh, I got a little swag, but not the swag I was looking for. That door is a unique specimen. It's the only door where you can act during that cutscene. You can do some really wacky stuff. This dungeon's layout, there's a lot of doors, man. It's like the other dungeons we just did where we have to get 3 keys, we gotta fight a boss, but we gotta open twice as many doors.
Yeah, they tried to kind of give this place a little bit of a maze-like layout, but in doing that, they also added a lot of doors.
Yeah, there's this main little spiral in the center. Wow, that was a huge launch. And then the surrounding doors lead to the outside. So I did a little neat time saver, call it the rock launch. So when you're jet skating, you can hold up and accelerate further. It's way faster than the standard speed if you were to just hold the skate button and no direction. So you take that momentum, which you would normally lose upon going into the air for falling, and you let go of up right before you fall off the ledge, and you get a massive speed boost compared to how you would normally fall. Saves a couple of seconds throughout the run. You only get to do it a couple times though.
It's one of those weird quirks that you might see in a racing game or something where you decelerate slower if you're just not holding the acceleration, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a similar sort of concept. You hold on to your speed longer if you just don't hold the button that makes you go forward. There's a boss coming up. It's 3 dogs, and their AI is really broken in the sense that we can abuse it heavily. So you just kind of go up to the door, and they're just going to run into the door and do nothing because their AI just doesn't know what to do about it. So you just nade them while they're just vulnerable, and boom, done.
Yup. Yeah, they had no idea what was happening. When you're so close to the door, they can't detect you, but they know to run in your general direction. They don't have an active hitbox. Here's another launch. They don't have an active hitbox unless they're doing their dash attack or their flame breath. And the optimal pattern for that fight is double flame breath from the 2 dogs that get to do an attack. And I got that pattern because I am quite lucky, just in general.
I'm gonna get double rammed as well. Oh, come on. See, their AI is pretty silly. They only attack when they're on screen, but the distance we stand at from the door is just so perfect in that where you're close enough to where they will want to attack, but you're far away enough to where they won't, and they just won't move off of the door. If you get any closer, they're gonna hit you. If you move far away, then they're just gonna... Oh, what? How did I not go through that? If you move far away enough, they're gonna start turning to face you, so it's pretty silly. Oh no, I mashed C down. I didn't go through the door. But whatever, man. They're dead. That's all that matters. I don't even remember what pattern I just got. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't double flame because the purple one got there late.
Yeah. Purple one had to have rammed. So I'm thinking, yeah. Now that the main gate is open, which was that little cutscene right there where you just saw like a pillar. That's the main gate. After you get the 3 keys in this dungeon, that opens up. It's the final dungeon. It's a place where the rumored treasure is supposed to be buried under. And our pirate buds are ambushing us now because they want a piece of the pie and they want to stop us. They're like, okay, these guys are definitely the problem, so we're just gonna take them out now. But we have a trick for the next time a health bar shows up on screen. We're gonna be fighting that big green ship in the back. And I'm gonna swap my buster parts. So I need 5 range, which we get 1 from our sniper unit, our trusty sniper unit we're gonna be using for the rest of the run, and 4 range from a part we bought in the shop to hit these wings from down here, because usually you would have to go all the way around this freaking ship, man. It would have to take forever. It's RNG. But with this trick, utilizing stutter shooting and the perfect buster layout, we can totally one cycle it and not have to deal with any of that nonsense. Switching back, and now we just take it to the front.
If you fail to blow up all 3 parts of the ship before you reach the front, then you're gonna have to fly around the ship at a random pattern to take out the remaining piece, and doing that can lose you like a minute.
Okay, next boss, Fokker Wolf. It has a lot of different patterns it can do. Cool. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, I got like the instant overhead, like bullet rain, which is pretty good.
Nice.
She can do a multitude of things. She can like fly overhead and shoot you on the way, or just continuously fly around the ship. Wait until the last second to do the bullet rain. It's a mess. That one's probably the worst pattern. But my pattern was pretty good.
Okay, let's see what my Fokker Wolf pattern is. Ideally, you want her to just keep orbiting your ship and just doing nothing, but that's really rare. Well, she went up real early.
Yeah, that's what she gave me.
Like, this one was mad early. Like, right after the 3rd missile.
Okay, maybe I wasn't that early. So now,
This was a solid fight, though.
opening up the rest of the main gate. Now that we're in this final dungeon, we just have to figure out how to progress further in the story. So we're gonna be going over to Old City to unlock. We just unlocked these things called sub-cities. Actually, I'm gonna... Wow, not hit any of those shots. That's excellent. Oh yeah, gonna do a damage or iframe abuse strat, I guess. This is
This boss, Bruno, he's really tough, especially on this version of the game, because for some reason they changed it and he starts moving around right away instead of all the other versions where he turns around first and then starts moving. He kind of just does both at the same time, so blowing him up in enough time is obnoxiously difficult in this version.
Come on. I don't care. I'll play it safe. Okay. Yeah, that was really, really messy. So, what you want to happen is, as soon as you take damage, you can start doing the nades right away. But that didn't quite happen there. Like, that fight is messed up. It's also random where the missiles go, and his big green orbs can literally circle around you 3 times without hitting you.
Alright, my turn.
The 64 version is just so difficult because of how early he walks. Typically, we would just climb on to one of the boxes that was behind him and nade him from up there, but he just walks away from box as soon as the fight starts.
I got some good damage. I might get it.
The no turnaround?
Yeah, we got it. Let's go.
Awesome.
Now, that was a fast one.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. I miscounted. Oh boy!
Uh-oh.
Oh, sniped. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a... We're doing this side quest because of this briefcase having 200,000 zenny in it. We're not gonna turn it into the police. Instead, we're gonna get dark armor because we did a bad action and take the money for ourselves so we can massively upgrade the Grand Grenade.
Yeah, you're normally supposed to give that to the inspector guy who came from the police car, and he gives you 20,000 zenny from it, but no, we want the 200,000 zenny, so we do this side quest to get that much money and dump it all into our weapon, and it becomes so strong that doing that side quest was worth the time put into it. It's pretty silly how strong it gets. Like, all the remaining enemies die in 1 to 2 hits from it.
I also got right Janus. This guy's name is Hugh Janus. I just really wanted to say it here because we can't say it on GDQ probably.
I miscounted too. Why did I listen to you? God damn.
The curse, dude, it's just like that Twin Snakes race where you're like, don't get spotted by the camera. And I'm like, haha. And then I get spotted by the camera. The friggin' gas starts going all over the room.
Sometimes shenanigans like that happens. Oh boy. Yeah, we call this guy Hugh Janus. Pun is pretty obvious, but his actual name is like Guiny Turin or something like that. It's like, well, if you look at it the wrong way, maybe it says Heine, and that'll give us a reason to say butt. So he's a big old butt. You see, look, we're chasing him around, shooting at his butt. Hugh Janus. And if you let him sit still for long enough before you shoot at his behind, he poops out an enemy. And then the main door to this objective building in the middle that we have to get to, it stays closed until all the enemies are dead, including the ones he poops out. So you want to make sure you just shoot him every time he opens. Don't let him have a chance to poop out any enemies. And I also got right turn Janus, so that's good RNG. We want to go to that building over there, and it's not in the center of the whole room. We want him to loop around the portion of the room that has the building in it. So if the building is on the left side of the room, we want him to, loop around that part. Otherwise, if he goes the other way, we lose like a handful of seconds because bad RNG, I guess. Waiting for the boss.
Whoa! Can we just not see the game over screen right now? Oh.
Are you getting bopped here?
I am.
Oh.
I'm playing this very safe.
See, I bought a safety canteen just in case, but...
Wow, why don't I do safe?
You didn't die, did you?
No, I'm not dead. Everything's fine. Yeah, we're fine.
Alright. Well, while he's being fine, I'm upgrading my grand grenades with all that money we just got.
Jesus. Yeah, everything died in 2 nades. It's just I almost died in 2 shots.
Yeah, these late game enemies, while we don't have armor, they do a lot of... What? I mashed C down and went inside the car. Get out of the car.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't upgrade our defense at all. Why didn't I buy a canteen? That's like the #1 rule of marathon runs. You know why? Because I barely had enough money without canteens. Oh wait, no, that was
to get the Power Razor.
I should have done that, man. I should have done that. I have way too much money on this run. I was thinking of practice run. Okay, now this sub-city, it has the least RNG. It still has some, but it's mostly just following the lineups, and we're going to be doing a couple long throws. I won't do Nade Saber. Kobe.
Yeah, the high throws in that place are really cool. You gotta find a very specific position. There's a range though, and then you just aim all the way up, let the nade land on the dude, and he probably dies.
Oh, that actually worked. Okay, this one went really well. Oh, that was nice.
coming up after that is going to be the final boss, and we're going to be doing a invincibility glitch that was discovered recently. Normally it's slower for it, but it's not that much slower to the point where you might kill runs over it. And it's just a really cool marathon strat on top of it, because you're just going to be invincible for the final boss. You don't have to care what he's doing. Just the setup is a little janky, and there's some kind of somewhat strict timings involved, but it's not that bad.
I'm gonna be going.
What you do is you want to talk to our monkey friend Data, and you want to cancel out the menu as you get hit by an enemy nearby.
I'm going for this ship, by the way. Oh, nope. I just got through those guys the other day, and I just want to do it on every run.
It is swag at the same time, but it's ungodly precise.
Yeah, it's very precise. You just want to jump over them and keep skating, but it just looks so cool if you can actually manage to thread the needle. But yeah, to set up the invincibility glitch, there are thankfully like the most cooperative enemies in the entire game, which is still like, that's a low bar, but we'll be luring them over to the room before the final boss, and well, we'll be getting hurt like that, but in a way that actually is beneficial. The setup timing any different for 64? No, not at all. It's pretty much identical, just, you know, you're on 64 frame rate.
Yeah, I was about to say, pending the frame rate, it might be slightly different.
Okay, these guys...
Prop, you lied to me.
Okay. He's the lucky winner. Careful getting them too close to walls. Did he actually come through? Okay, he did. Uh-oh. Oh, I know it. Man, I messed up my movement. That would have been perfect. Okay, that's fine. Grab this guy instead. Because I really needed to refill my grenades. Come here. Get a good look at him. He's gonna stop.
Alright, I need these foods to be as uncooperative as possible so I can get my
Bro.
feedback.
Okay, I got it.
Aw, man.
So yeah, I canceled the knockback animation in midair by exiting the data dialogue. Wow, nice nade, bro. And it reset our state without resetting our iframes. And now I'm fully invincible for this fight and going into the next fight.
Oh, what? I didn't get it on first try. Okay. Come here, boys. I don't care how many tries it takes. I'm doing this glitch.
Just slam it. Refill the energy. Slam them even more. Give me those fireballs. This guy...
There we go.
It's so satisfying to just being able to wail on him. This guy's a big jerk. Look at that frame rate. Alright, time is coming up right now, actually. Sorry. I should have mentioned this way before. I was too in the moment, and... time for me. Okay, so yeah, after the boss, you just have to have one last dialogue with Will. Yeah, Juno is like extremely random. He could do fireballs, jump all around the arena, dive at you, charge. He has like a desperation. Limbo, that's the best one. Limbo under your nades. Yeah, dude, that's so good.
Lots more lag. Look at this lag. And time for me. I'm a minute and a half behind RTA because money shenanigans costed me a gigantic amount of time. Holy moly! But still, GG's. That was fun. It was also fun to dunk on this version because it deserves it. But it was still a fun race. So for GDQ, obviously we're gonna have actual commentators. We won't have to commentate as we race, so there'll be a little bit easier time concentrating on gameplay. But you know, for lines here, I assume it's, you know, just having a fun time while also demonstrating the run. So I had fun. It was good.
Yeah, that was great.
Minus the freaking money.
Well, good stuff indeed. That was definitely an entertaining, exciting run full of memes and shenanigans. This is what we like on this channel, just utter chaos and just having fun. So, any last words before we get ready for the next run?
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having us, dude. Like, we haven't been able to run Mega Man 64 specifically as like a race or for an event or anything like that. So this is a fun new experience, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, I just drank some water and went down the wrong way. Excuse me. But yeah. So we didn't get Legends into GDQ for so many years, like not since 2017. And then when they finally take it again, it's this version. Because out of desperation, we submitted like every version of every game in the series. And in this specific version, I wrote in the description, hey, this version is jank, frame rate is bad, there's a lot of issues with it, but it'd be a silly, hilarious meme. I almost said hilarious, that's how silly it is. And they pick it. They picked the one we don't want to run, because damn it, GDQ. But you know what? We submitted it, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna hold up our end of the bargain. We're gonna race this, and it's gonna be silly, just like it was here.
Good stuff. So, all right, we got another one coming up. There is going to be a slight change. It's going to be Metal Gear Solid 3 European Extreme, all camos and face paints. Apache's going to be on comms instead for a solo one from Vermilion. Apache's capture card has died, so he can't race today. So it's just going to be a solo one by Vermilion. So everybody, I need F's in the chat, and then I need you to follow Apache on Twitter to make him feel better. So stay tuned for that, and
Smash.
Stay tuned for that, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.